Trying to figure out what starter pack to buy? I'm going to tell you everything you need to know before buying the RSI Aurora MR, and we're starting right now.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Welcome to a Star Citizen's Buyer's Guide. What's up, citizens? This is SubliminaL here, and today we'll be discussing the features, functions, and benefits of the RSI Aurora MR. And we'll compare those features amongst competing ships so you can make an informed buying decision. In this review, I'll cover a brief overview, take a brief tour, compare stats, go over its default weapons and components, as well as my recommendations, review pros and cons, and finish up with my thoughts on the Aurora MR. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is SubliminaL and my passions are Star Citizen and content creation. Be sure to check out some of my other reviews in this series and consider subscribing. If you are new to Star Citizen, be sure to check out my affiliate link in the description and on screen to receive 5,000 Alpha UEC in the Persistent Universe. If you're a Star Citizen vet or a channel regular, stick around and give your feedback to help out the new players below, and consider sharing this to whom you think it may help. The RSI Aurora MR, also known as the Marquis, is the modern-day descendant of the Roberts Space Industries X-7 spacecraft, which tested the very first jump engines. Utilitarian to a T, the Aurora is the perfect beginner ship. What it lacks in style, it makes up for in ample room and upgrade modules. The most common variant of the Aurora series, it blends combat, capability, and cargo capacity for a mid-ranged price. The MR is part of the RSI Aurora series. The ES, LS, LN, and CL are also available. The Aurora MR is currently flight ready. As of today, it is for sale and upgrade on the Pledge Store for $25. And is also available in the Aurora MR Starter Pack game package for $45 and the Squadron 42 combo for $65. It is available to purchase at Area 18's Astro Armada for around 185,000 Alpha UEC. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the RSI Aurora MR. Let's take a tour. Up front, you'll notice two ballistic Gatling guns. We'll go over those more later. Up on top, you have two infrared missiles. Under this, you'll notice an empty size 1 hardpoint. Hardpoints are locations on a ship where a weapon can be attached. A bit later, I will give you some recommendations on what I think you should put here. Under the ship, we have where up to 3 SCU, or standard containment units, can be stored while running cargo. This is where the second empty hardpoint is located. Let's climb inside. One benefit of having the Aurora is that you have this area where you can store mission boxes. This is going to be very important in the beginning stages of your time in the verse. Another great feature is having a bed that you can log out in. In theory, you should be able to spawn back here when logging back into the game. Let's head to the flight deck. On each side of the cockpit, you'll notice 3 MFDs or multifunction displays. For the most part, these are fully operational. In the middle, you have an information cluster with pertinent information and a radar below. The Aurora does not have an ejection feature. With the tour complete, let's see how it compares to other ships you might be considering. For comparison, I have selected 10 ships that are competitors or variants to the MR. I have also included some ships you may want to upgrade to in the future. I have limited them to ships or packages that are $75 or below, including the game package. The Google Sheet document in the data is linked in the description. The MR weighs in at over 25,000 kilograms and comes in first place as the lightest ship on this list. It squeezes in at 16 meters in length and takes second place with the rest of the Aurora series. It brings 3 SCU of cargo space and ties in 6th place with the Aurora LN. Has a max crew size of 1, although in the area behind the captain's chair you could hold as many people as can fit. It carries 583 quantum fuel units and ties in last place with 7 other ships on this list. Cruises by with an SCM speed of 147 meters per second and comes in 7th. Blazes by with a max speed of over 1200. Steers in with a maximum yaw pitch rate of 76 degrees per second and comes in 2nd. Boasts a total HP of almost 4,000 and ties in 7th place with the rest of the Aurora series. It shoots Ps with a default pilot DPS of 426 and takes 8th place. No ships on this list have turrets. It totes a total missile payload of over 5,000 and comes in 7th place. Now let's talk about its firepower. The Aurora MR has 4 size 1 hardpoints, 2 on the nose and 2 on the wings. The nose has a pair of size 1 gimbal mounts with 1 Yellow Jacket GT210 each. One GT210 is size 1, does 16 damage, times 800 RPM for a total of 213 DPS and a 1700 meter range. With ballistics, ammo should be taken into account. It has 7,200 rounds that would deplete in 540 seconds of continuous fire. For missiles, it has 1 MSD 221 missile racks with 2 Marksman 1s each. Marksmans are size 1, are infrared, do almost 2,600 damage, have a 1.1 second lock time, and a 2,800 meter lock range. This is a total of 2 missiles. I personally prefer using ballistic weapons, so the Yellow Jacket guns that come with it will do just fine. I would certainly recommend adding 2 more additional hardpoints as soon as you can. This will double your damage capabilities. Just make sure to add the size 1 gimbals first before the second pair of GT210s. And be sure to use the gimbal assist feature of the ship. As of the time of this recording, size 1 gimbals cannot be bought at any store in the verse. However, the soon-to-be-released 3.9 patch will make them available. In addition, I would swap out the Marksman missiles for Sparks. They will provide more damage and aren't affected by countermeasures. Now for the components. The standard power plant on the Aurora MR is the size 1 grade 4 Roughneck with almost 4,000 max power generation per second and a 24-second power uptime. The default power plant has all the power you need. I don't necessarily recommend upgrading it. However, if you've purchased everything else that I recommend, you can change over to the JS300. You will lose some capacity but gain a much shorter power uptime. This could come in handy if you get EMP. For coolers, it comes with 2 size 1 grade 4 hydro cell coolers that provide 380,000 max cooling per second each and a 10-second power uptime. My recommendation for the coolers is to use a split combination, the cooler with the fastest cooling rate and the cooler with the shortest power uptime. This would be the Zero Rush and Ultra Flow, bringing the cooling rate to 678,000 and the power uptime to 3 seconds, taking the advantages of both. For shields, it has 2 size 1 grade 3 Bulwark shield generators with 7,200 capacity that regenerates 135 hit points per second. My recommendation for the shields is similar to the coolers. Apply the best regen rate for one cooler and the best capacity for the second cooler. For the Aurora, this will be the Palisade and Mirage. And last but not least, the QT drive it comes with is the size 1 grade 3 EOS quantum drive with 139 megameter per second quantum speed, a 5-second spool up, and a 9-second cool down time. This QT drive has the capability of getting from Port Olisar to any point in Stanton without having to make a stop. You could upgrade to a faster one, but you may lose this ability for not much return, so I would recommend keeping it. If you don't have around 105,000 Alpha UEC to spend on all this at once, I would buy them in the following order. The DPS calculator over at Urkel.games was exceptionally important for my recommendations in this review. After you watch the rest of this review, check out the link in the description. It will take you to this unique loadout that we have just discussed. Here you can find the prices and locations of where to find these items in the verse. I would say its pros are it has cargo capacity. Some ships on this list don't. It also has an open cabin where you can store mission boxes and people. This is another uncommon feature. It has a bed that you can log out in. Its max speed is decent. It's nimble with a max yaw pitch rate of 76 degrees. Its size. When facing the enemy, it's pretty narrow. This is a benefit in a fight. Also, it has 4 hardpoints. I would say its cons are, well, everything else. Its default DPS, its hull HP, it's slow in regards to SCM speed. Although just having the capacity as a pro, 3 SCU is pretty limited. And also, it looks like how Jake from State Farm sounds. So what are my thoughts? The RSI Aurora is a ship that ticks a lot of boxes. It has missiles, 4 hardpoints, SCU for storage, and an open cabin, giving you the ability to dabble in a lot of aspects of what Star Citizen has to offer. But by no means does it master any of those. You will get outgunned. not make much money from trading, and look hideous while doing it. But if that's all you're willing to spend right now, it's a great way to explore the vast universe, solar system that Star Citizen has to offer. However, if your budget can stretch, I would recommend taking a look at the Origin 300i and Aegis Avenger Titan. They both take advantage of the benefits offered here, but excels at them better. And if you're a baller egghead, go ahead and look at the Cutlass Black. Also, please stay tuned for my review of the Mustang Alpha. I had planned on recommending it over the MR, however, after doing this review, it shed some light on what makes the Aurora special, so I will give it a review in the very near future. Those are my thoughts, let me hear yours down in the comments. New citizens, please remember to use the referral code on screen and in the comments. It helps out the channel and gets you 5,000 Alpha UEC to help you buy that second pair of GT210s. If you've enjoyed this review, check out more of my content. If you'd like, there are tons of ways to support the channel. Number 1, you can smash that like button. Number 2, you can share this content with someone who may enjoy it. Number 3, you can check out my locations of Stanton collection over at this plate. Number 4, you can subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the circle here. Number 5, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. And number 6, if you're feeling generous, consider becoming a patron. Some of the pledge perks can be seen here. If not, your viewership is greatly appreciated. Until next time, citizens, I'll see you in the verse.